The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown. Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Thursday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, in the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got the whole cast and crew ready for you to rock today.
That's right.
We've got Patrik "No-See" Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback,
You know what I'm doing,
Kyle
pal?
Youmans. You're eating your oats.
I'm getting my oats, and I know I'm early.
It is early.
Where'd you get them from?
It's never too early for oats.
I got them from the internet.
Let's go.
And I picked them up here at the Cowboys facility.
Nice.
Let's go.
Very nice. They had the whole box waiting for you
Oh,
earlier.
no, they actually made them for me.
Yeah?
I didn't have to go through the box process.
Yeah?
They helped me out.
Flex.
Yeah.
Nice.
Use your
Very
resources,
nice.
Kyle.
You got to make it happen. Got to make it happen.
I'm on my healthy tip.
It's VIO.
I
I was getting a little husky.
very important.
You said
oats.
you
You
were
guys didn't even
down.
tell me.
You're down how many pounds since last week?
Well, check me out, Kyle. Last week,
I was just
stepped-
thinking that, Isaiah.
I stepped
you
on the scale.
Fat ass. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to need my brothers to tell me when your boy's getting a little husky. Okay?
7 pounds.
I tell you every
That's
day.
a plus minus.
I
man.
stepped
You
on
know
the scale
7
last
pounds.
week, and I was 254 pounds. 254.
As
Mind
opposed
you, as opposed to I normally hang around the 240 mark if I'm not doing anything.
Oh, so you were up like 14.
Don't do that. So I was like, you
I
know
was
what?
mathing.
I'm mathing.
I tried to put on one of my normal suits, and it just wouldn't fit in the way it normally fits. And it's a custom suit, you know.
Kind of like ripping the pants, like SpongeBob.
No,
like
not that.
kind of
I
thing?
wasn't doing that. No, not
okay,
doing
cool.
that.
Interesting.
But my top
Leg
button, you know, when your top button
leg
don't
days are
button.
getting out of hand, Kyle.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Familiar.
I have to make a change. So I started getting back on my cardio game. I started eating cleaner again. And bro, this morning I weighed in. I did my little workout. Came in, weighed in right before I, got in the shower. 246, baby.
Okay, well, to be fair, you wear a lot of sweatshirts. So I didn't know if you would.
It was all up in here.
Guess what? Nah, you were you were turkey neck.
It was turkey neck.
You were not
It was
turkey
turkey
neck,
neck, bro. I
There
saw
was
it.
no gobble gobble.
I said, young Hutch took a picture of me the other day at the stadium. I said, wait a minute,
There's
Mr.
no
Jackson.
There's no gobble gobbles.
Gotta make a change.
No gobble gobbles.
I'm taking offense to all of this. and
And why is that?
I'm not the one that
why
ripped
is
my
that?
pants.
Why is that? Olive
Yeah.
oil.
I don't even think Isaiah knows that story yet.
Oh, yeah, he ripped his pants the other day.
In the press box.
I mean, like
Me.
they were busted open
After
my friend.
pregame,
Bro.
I went and sat down, and I'm talking like,
No, bro.
oh, dude,
Leg
like
days out of-
belt
out of
line
control.
all the way
No.
down to the inner thigh. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, here.
thighs rip.
Yeah, like the whole back
It's the
seam.
squats, bro. It's the squats.
It's not what it was. It's more like
Fatherhood.
It was
Yeah,
Disneyland.
it's dad bod is what it is.
Disneyland. Too
There you
many Mickey popsicles.
Oh, my God.
That did
Yeah.
happen after
Yeah.
Bro, that
Disney,
looks like
man.
show that on a one shot. It looks like a
see if I
shark's
can-
mouth.
Yeah.
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 No.
if
Busted
That looked like
wide
a
open.
shark's mouth. Look at that. You got to
One too many Mickey Mouse popsicles.
That hole that you guys see where you can see the light, that is Kyle's. Never mind.
Did you have a few of those, buddy?
Exactly.
Those Mickey ice cream bars last week got me, man. They
Remember,
got me.
did you see him with the rip pants?
No, I kept it very sly. The only person
How,
that
bro?
saw
That was
it-
like a freaking.
oh, I know.
The family
That's
stuff.
like
no,
opening
no.
the whole window.
I told the story, so I don't want to go all the way back through it. But basically, I had Barry look at it, and I was like, "How bad is it?" And he was like, "All right, sit back down, sit back down."
Yeah.
And it was bad because like I had green underpants on, like it just like oh yeah, I'm mean
Yeah,
green to the
UNT
core, baby.
all the way.
North Texas all the way through, baby.
Kyle had the Grinch drawers on.
Yeah,
Come
it
on,
was-
man.
dude, not good. So
Those are approved
and
by
they
your
were
wife?
black pants. Oh yeah, the black pants, green
It's my Thursday
underpants all
night
the way
outfit.
through. So I basically, long story short, I walked to my truck, found some jeans, went to Walmart, bought some new pants, went back to my truck, changed into the new pants, and got back up to the press box in the 2-minute warning of the second quarter.
Kyle's one of
That
those
was when I
dudes
got
that would
back.
wear the underpants that have the hearts on them. You know what I mean?
Oh, like the boxers, the
Yes.
very wide boxers with the
Yeah.
hearts on them. Yeah,
Right.
I probably.
I thought that was reserved for guys who have like vans with shag carpeting inside.
No, that's a Kyle.
How do
move
you
right
not
there.
know what I drive? I mean, what? I mean,
I work with you.
I know. I'm just messing with you. All right, let's get into news and notes. We got plenty to get to
So
today.
lucky I wasn't there for that.
Oh, I know. That was the first thing I said to Barry. I was like, I'm glad you're here and not Isaiah.
It looked like
so
a
bad.
shark bite.
He would have been Isaiah would have turned around and been like, "Hey, everybody!"
Oh, I would have made a scene. It would have been a whole scene.
Barry's a good friend.
Kyle over here taking a.
I ain't gonna tell
Taking
nobody
a
else.
split.
Oh man.
So as we transition from Senor Green Draws,
That sounds so
Take
bad. That sounds so bad.
wait, they were green out of the pack, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're out of the pack. Thank God.
Okay, I'm back. All right, news and notes. We're going to go over the Cowboys injury report. As we talked about Cooper Beebe this week, obviously the headline is DeMarvion Overshown. He'll head to injured reserve, unfortunately, here shortly. But Cooper Beebe, he's in question, obviously going into this short week. Like I said, my expectation is that he will not take the field in Carolina against the Panthers. Mike McCarthy said that he is making some progress. There's a chance, but doesn't sound exactly optimistic. That's not the way I would describe it. So Cooper Beebe did not participate in practice on yesterday. Expected. Eric Kendricks, he had a non-injury related issue. So he's listed as a shoulder because he's been dealing with the shoulder. But the reason he missed practice was for a personal matter that's undisclosed at this time. Wanye Thomas continues to deal with the meniscus issue in his knee, did not participate. His was 2 to 3 weeks from the date of the injury. We'll see if he can get back on the field this season. Trayvon Diggs, limited. C.J. Goodwin limited with a hamstring issue. CeeDee Lamb still nursing that shoulder, but he did practice limited capacity. Jordan Lewis hamstring issue, but he practiced in a limited capacity as well. Everyone else that's on the on the injury report: Deron Bland, Rico Dowdle, Tyler Guyton, Marshawn Neal, and Tyler Smith. They are all full participants in yesterday's practice.
I don't like that.
Why?
Delete that.
It's not likable. It's not likable.
There are not many instances where I would actually go back in time.
see.
You know what I mean? Take a time machine and reverse things. But if I could go back to that Bengals game and just fourth quarter.
Well, if you have a time
Demo,
machine,
just sit this one out.
that where you're going back to?
in
There's a
recent
lot of
memory,
things,
yeah.
If I'm going back to March, let's get this free agency thing fixed, and we'll go from there.
Ooh.
I'm not
Shots fired.
Not shots fired. I'm just saying what I would do.
It is the
Pays
truth,
you,
though.
man. No,
I'm just saying what I would do. This is what I would do if I had a time machine.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it would take a lot longer than March to fix that free agency.
If I had a
thing.
time machine, I
I
would
think
go
you'd have
back
to go further back.
to the second quarter of the Cincinnati game in the press box.
I wasn't in there in the second quarter. I was watching on my phone from the second quarter. It was the very first, like literally as I sat down from pregame. I had not even gotten food yet.
I am with.
It would have been worse if you were eating. You like a big plate of food. You sit down and rip your pants. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna put this ice.
I walked
Put the ice
by.
cream back today.
I went back for the halftime thing.
And
they
went back
had,
for more food?
Yeah, celery and
There's a big
carrots.
stacked plate.
You know, there was celery
Yeah,
and
that's
carrots.
Kyle's like, at this point, it's all done.
gotta-
I'm going all in.
The damage is done by
gotta
this
lean
point,
into
boys.
it.
That's
Gotta
why
lean
I'm
into
eating
it.
nothing but egg whites today.
There we go,
for
baby.
breakfast.
Nice.
That's what
I am a
got.
brother's
I
keeper.
can just picture Josh with the time machine, and everything rewinds back, and suddenly we're back in the press box, and we turn around, and Josh's seat is empty, and we're like, "Where's Josh?" And it's the offending play that injured DeMarvion Overshown. Suddenly, we look down on the field.
There's a big bald dude just running.
There's a fan on the field, and he's just running full speed to dive right in front of the guy who's about to be thrown into Demo's knee. He's like, "Take me, God, take me!"
I feel
I
like
accidentally tackled Demarvin Overshown. And it all
the
happened.
plan,
No!
plan goes
On
hard.
one chance.
I envision
God,
Kyle
why?
running across the field with a big shark hole in his drawers, green drawers, running like Gru across the doggone field.
They're just splitting the more he runs.
Welcome to Talkin Cowboys.
His pants are disintegrating like Forrest Gump. Like,
Oh my God! Freaking Avenger.
And I was running.
Yellow Jacket security
we gotta have
chasing
fun,
him.
man. I don't know.
No,
The CSC's on my butt.
Man. We gotta have fun. We gotta have
All
fun.
through your kids yelling at the screen.
Go get him, Dad.
I see
Yeah, whenever we read an injury report like that, we got to find some level of humor. We got to find something.
M-O-U-S-E. So you said Wanye, what is Wanye dealing with again?
Meniscus. So it's 2 or 3 weeks from the injury. Way to bring that back. Abruptly.
You know, like Wanye. Wanye's a hell of a player, man.
Yeah. We stand for Wanye over here. Of
course.
Stand for Wanye, absolutely. So yeah.
Anybody else on that injury report that you're even
I mean, you're going to ask me this every week.
Yeah, pretty much. That you're concerned about making it?
Cooper Beebe is the big one.
Yeah.
But obviously, if he's not able to play, then Brock Hoffman slides into starting center and TJ Bass into right guard. Everyone else, I mean, Wanye, we knew he'd miss this game. Trayvon practiced. Everyone else participated in practice that I would kind of draw a circle around. CeeDee Lamb, he participated in practice. J. Lou, Duran, Rico, Guyton, Nealon, Smith. I mean, Tyler Smith, those guys are in practice. So really, outside of what we know about Cooper Beebe, nothing else really jumps out. Because like I said, Eric Kendricks did not practice yesterday, and although he's listed with the shoulder that he's been dealing with, it was a personal day for him. It was something he was dealing with outside of work. So, yeah, I mean, other than Cooper Beebe, everything else, I don't want to say it's positive, but it's not worse. It didn't get worse yesterday.
It's been worse.
I was going to say it didn't get worse yesterday.
Yeah.
And
it's
that's
been
really
worse
all
before.
I can say at this point.
Yeah.
So
it's not the worst thing in the world. I'll give you that.
I don't know, man. It's like it didn't get worse yesterday. That's all I can say, man.
Now that
Check back with me tomorrow.
Now that you've had a little bit of time to kind of piece through the film of TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman as your interior offensive line, did you feel better or worse after watching it again than you did on Monday, seeing it in real time?
Watching it back gave me the same
feel,
the same fuzzy wuzzies in my belly that I saw watching it in real time.
Yeah.
I mean, in real time, it felt like they were really doing well up front. And then you go back and watch the film, and lo and behold, your eyes did not deceive you from the real-time assessment. They were really doing well. They were protecting Cooper Rush quite well. Like we talked about, there were times where Cooper Rush had plenty of time in the pocket. He just didn't make the throw. They were also opening up lanes for Rico Dowdle to continue to do damage on the ground. So from my perspective, Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass played very well.
If you saw, I mean, I agree with you, but one thing that I saw as far as offensive line goes was Chuma. Like, I thought last week was a much better impression of what you'd want to see out of Chuma than you did this week.
This week, I agree.
I don't want to say he took a step back, but it just didn't feel like
Trey Hendrickson gave him work.
That's 100% true.
Part of it.
That's part of it. That's part
Trey
of it.
Hendrickson absolutely took him to school.
Who's that?
Chuma.
No, who's Trey?
He's one of the
Trey Hendrickson.
best edge rushers in
NFL
football.
league soccer. Yeah. So, and this is
He's
not
just really good.
right. And this is not to say that Chuma necessarily can't handle himself, but Trey Hendrickson does what he does to everybody he lines up against. So Chuma walked into that game with the odds stacked wildly against him, and it played out how we thought it would play out. Trey Hendrickson is him.
I agree.
He's
I just don't think that the footwork was necessarily there for Chuma this week compared to last week.
Trey's too fast.
A lot of that is desperation.
He gets your feet tangled up. Like
100%.
with the outside step and then come inside, with the inside step and then go outside. He's nasty.
When I watched it back on Tuesday, it's still weird to me. It feels like a Wednesday today. But Tuesday, whenever I watched it back, I thought Brock Hoffman may have had his best game as a Cowboy, in my opinion.
Wow.
Because he was uber efficient in pass block and run block, both at guard and at center. And if you can do that over the course, almost split 50-50. You had about, I think it was 30 snaps at center, and it was like 26 snaps at guard or something like that. It was almost split 50-50. And he was just as effective in both spots, and I love that. I think that versatility. I was already sold on Brock Hoffman by what he had shown previously, but now I see why he got the nod over TJ Bass. Bass is still a great player, and I think as a pass blocker, I think TJ Bass was very good. If not perfect for what you were asked to do. He wasn't perfect in winning every single rep and whatever. I don't think he did not allow a pressure. He did have the one penalty. I didn't love what I saw from a run blocking standpoint.
From TJ Bass.
From TJ. I think he can still be downhill a little bit better. I really liked what I saw pass blocking from both guys, but Brock Hoffman was the one that did both well.
You say that, but that was Rico Dowdle's best game as a Cowboys running back.
Most of it came after or before
yeah.
TJ Bass was in there, though.
That's fair.
He kept it going. He kept running well, and I think they continued to run the ball effectively with Rico Dowdle.
And that's after they let off the gas pedal as far as the run game goes.
Yeah,
whenever TJ Bass came in. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I think not that TJ Bass was bad as a run blocker. I just think he was better as a pass blocker, whereas Brock Hoffman was great at both.
You got to love the depth that you have currently at offensive line. When you're fully healthy, you have to appreciate what they've done. And the scouts on this team obviously have had some impressive work when it comes to evaluating offensive linemen.
And give credit to the coaching staff too for not giving up on certain guys too.
Absolutely.
Brock very easily, whenever he's picking fights in training camp and he's showing some nastiness at different times, that could be taken the wrong way from time to time, and that hasn't been the case. They've stuck with him and he's rewarding them. I feel much better about this offensive line now than I did prior to the Zach Martin injury, and that's a sentence I don't think I would have ever said in my entire life.
But you're entirely that is accurate.
Yeah,
that
I feel much better about it.
When you consider the season Zach was having, because he was banged up time and again, and he was dealing with what turned out to be a degenerative situation in his ankle. I mean, it's not an outlandish statement to make. I mean, we talked about possibly going bass fishing.
Yeah, before that even happened.
Before the season-ending ankle injury. So yeah, and like you said, shouts out to Will McClay and the scouting staff in the scouting department, because we're sitting here talking about in Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass, two undrafted guys.
Yeah,
who are playing in short
contributing
order,
at a high level.
In short order, contributed at a high level to the point where we feel confident about that going forward. That's saying a lot for both the scouting department, how they've been coached up, and of course those players, and just grinding away, looking for their opportunity, and then making the best of it when the opportunity presented itself.
If you would have asked me, and this is why there's still significant portions of these games coming up down the stretch. If you would have asked me a month ago who the first round pick was going to be for the Cowboys, what position group it would be, I think I would have said left tackle. I think I would have said, okay, we're going to pick in. Yeah, I think I would have said we were picking in the top 15.
Does that mean you're flipping Guyton?
You're flipping Guyton. You're cutting Terrence Steele, cutting ties with him completely. This is a month ago. Let that be known.
Where you are now? Where are you now?
I'm not there now. Okay. I think now with TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman and Terrence Steele and some of the things I've seen as the season has gone on, I think I would rather keep Guyton at left tackle. I am crazy. I would keep.
He said
Guyton
that to me like
tackle.
early on in the season. I was like, "What, dude?" But
no, I would totally take a left tackle, flip Guyton. Then you've got 3 first rounders on your offensive line. TJ Bass at that point in my head was going to be your future right guard once Zach Martin decides to call it quits. I love what Cooper Beebe does at center. I felt good about my offensive line with that pick. I don't want to do that anymore.
Do you want to go back to Beebe?
What was that?
Would you want to go back to Beebe?
After what Hoffman showed? Yeah, because I would put Hoffman back at guard.
Beebe's your starting.
Beebe's your starter at center, in my opinion.
Jeez, guys.
And it's just
how dare you?
And it's an answer, Isaiah. Would you go back to Beebe?
I don't know.
Wow.
Now you're the one. You're the crazy one.
All right, Mr. Hot Takes.
Care to drop in an explanation? Like, what we?
You were that impressed with
curious
Hoffman
as to
at
your
He's like,
center?
no, go to break.
Yeah,
That was my tease, guys. You guys missed the window.
Long and intentional.
I honestly I haven't watched enough of those guys.
I don't think we've seen enough.
Yeah, I haven't watched enough of those guys doing what they do. But I there is something about having a center who has an edge and who has a nastiness. And I haven't watched enough Cooper Beebe to say yay or nay.
Beebe has nastiness.
I don't know if he has the same
his nastiness
edge.
stops at the whistle.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think
Brock
that's
Hoffman
fair to
doesn't
compare him to Brock Hoffman when it comes to like he just sounds aggressive. That name is aggressive.
I would have to
as
do
hell.
in order to do any of them justice. I would need to do a full sit down
That's
film
fair.
review to watch the
Like,
the inside
guys.
line.
What I will say is Hoffman is very good at center, but there's a reason BB beat him out at center.
There you go. Yes.
So you put BB back at center, and you instead of trying to decide which plays center, you put them right next to each other, like you were doing, and you prosper.
Bass Bros.
There you go.
And you prosper. Bass Bros. And you prosper. I like that.
That's actually pretty
That's
sick.
going to stick.
The
That's going to stick.
thing about now. That was a month ago. Remember, that was what I was looking at the draft ahead of time.
And now,
With TJ Bass and Brock
then.
Hoffman showing me what they've done and the versatility that they've shown on the offensive line, you have the ability to go away from the offensive line in the first round. Don't know where they're going to go yet. It may be wide receiver, it may be running
Frees
back,
you
it
up,
may be
though.
whoever the hell it ends up being from the defensive side of the ball, but it gives you the option.
Frees you
And
up.
that's something you didn't have, I don't think, going forward.
Linebacker, I don't know.
Linebacker, yeah, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, you're back at linebacker. But shouts out
I don't know
to,
about it in the first round. But
No, I wouldn't say first round, but shouts out
same
to
thing with linebacker, running back.
shouts out to the Cowboys because they caught a lot of smoke from certain pockets of the fan base for using that pick on Marist. Because obviously a lot of fans, me included, wanted a running back around that time, right? You use the pick on the linebacker, and then the run on the running backs occurs, and you start losing guys, right? But as it turns out, Marist is going to be much needed in the absence of DeMarvion Overshown into and possibly through the entirety of the 2025 season.
So let me put it this way, or go for it. You go for
Well, no, you go ahead.
I was
Finish
just
I was
up
going to
the
say
thought.
That
if
pick
you
turned
were
out to be
if you were to take the
brilliant.
first, second, and third round picks from the 2023 draft and the 2024 draft, and you were to say who is the most productive out of the first, second, and third round picks out of both of those drafts, Maris Leofau would probably lead the way.
the pick turned out to be brilliant.
Because DeMarvion Overshown because of injuries in 2023. There's your third round pick. Then you had Schoonmaker and Mozzie Smith as your second and your first round picks, respectively. Then you go to this year. You had Tyler Guyton, injuries and lack thereof, playing time, that kind of thing happening at left tackle. Your second round pick was, who am I forget? Oh, Marshawn Nealon, injuries. Maris Leofau's that third round pick. He's been just as productive as anybody else.
And now he's
on
going to
the
keep you
defensive
out
side.
of being back in dire straits at linebacker.
Yes.
So you're
Arguably
you're
more
gonna,
productive than Marshawn Nealon.
Well, not arguably
would
because
be.
he's been on
Yeah.
the field.
I mean,
definitely
technically,
was.
technically,
so
yes.
so literally,
Doesn't mean talent wise they're equal.
no, literally,
But in terms of production,
he's been available, which means he's been more productive.
Part of it.
That's how it goes.
All right. When we come back here on Talking Cowboys, we're going to go into a little QB vision. Isaiah has been taking a look at this Carolina defense, what they bring to the table. There's only one team in the NFL that's given up more points per game than the Dallas Cowboys defense. Would you like to guess which team that was? I'll tell you after the break with more Talking Cowboys.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. That team that I teased earlier. Quake R code, get it done.
Sick.
Use the Quake R code in the left-hand corner to buy your oats on the internet.
Thank God.
You know what
Trusted
goes,
since 1877.
you know what goes good with Quaker Oats?
Bring out the good. Black Rifle Coffee.
Are you going to chug it?
Little RTD. I'm not chugging it today. I just had a whole thing of water.
Nice.
But I am going to sip on it. It's nice and chilled. I have a chilled one. Thank you very much, Mr. Rodriguez.
So you're going to follow a bottle of water, whole bottle of water with coffee.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to chase
Somebody's
it with
gonna
had
have-
some oats.
Then I'm going to
somebody's
chase it
gonna
with
have to
tea.
tinkle.
I'm going to chase it with tea and water.
Somebody's going to have to tinkle.
Bro,
He's
so
going to be in a
listen.
pickle, buddy.
You're in a pickle,
Hey,
buddy.
listen, I've been drinking about 1.5 gallons of water. That's part of it.
Jeez. You're in a pickle
About
now,
1.5
buddy.
gallons of water.
Yeah.
Flush the system, man.
Yeah,
Work out.
I don't know how
You
many
break-
of these
you
are.
break down
Yeah,
the
the
fat,
water will
drink
help.
water,
And
flush it out.
I do at least 4 of these a day.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What's that? That's 32 ounces?
Yeah.
Is it?
Kool-Aid.
I'm not going there with
Blue. Love it.
Yeah, Kool-Aid.
It's blue. No. Yeah, just ice water.
This is blue.
4 of those every day.
That's a gallon.
Side note.
Wait, did you just say it's blue Kool-Aid?
Well, that's,
I see.
is that 32? That's 32, right? That's 32
No, I don't know if it's 32. I don't have the number.
We'll figure it out, and we'll let you
Pretty
know
sure it's
after the break.
It's
Just a Yeti.
It's a large quantity.
Yep. The
You covered it up.
I know.
Josh with the OZs with the ounces.
Pretty sure it's 32.
goodness. Let's get into a little bit
All right,
of
let's do it.
this QB Vision Beamer.
Wide 80. Wide 80. It's time for QB Vision with Isaiah Stanback.
All right, guys, I'm back. My voice is back, so you guys get the full version of me today. Really excited. Okay, great opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to go against a team that's worse than them defensively.
Yeah, only team in the NFL that's given up more points per game than the Cowboys. Carolina Panthers.
Do you know
29
why?
points per game?
You know why, Kyle?
Why?
Because they're bad.
They're bad, but do you know why they're bad?
Why?
Defensive line?
They are so scared.
Scared.
You guys ever faced defenses that are so scared to get beat?
They're scurry, dude.
Are they shooketh?
The shooketh. Okay, so teams that are very scared,
Don't be scared.
they do what defensively to ensure that bad things don't happen to
They
them?
back
play
up.
off.
They back
They
up.
play off.
So if you go back and watch the entire Philadelphia Eagles
They're the
game,
prevent Panthers.
it is literally the prevent Panthers.
That's
When I say
quite the
that, I mean
nickname.
the safety is playing. When a quarterback is in a gun formation, the safety is playing 25 yards away from the quarterback.
Which safety is that? Which safety is that?
Oh, I mean, freaking there's some guy who was here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know his name? X?
Xavier
Yeah.
Woods. We kind of know his game a little bit.
But it's not a
He also takes
preference
some
thing.
plays off, so that works.
Yeah, he chooses, picks and chooses.
He's
But
in the woods. If you know
Dude, that was so
when keeping it real
bad.
goes wrong.
That was so bad.
When it goes so wrong.
But it's not a preference thing. This isn't like, hey, okay, like, I'm choosing to do my own thing. Like, this is being taught down there. And these guys are playing about 25 yards off at the safety position. At the cornerback position, they're playing about 8 yards off regardless of the coverage. It doesn't matter if they're playing single high safety in cover 3. It doesn't matter if they're playing cover 4. It doesn't matter if they're playing cover 6. For those that are concerned and trying to figure out exactly what those coverages mean.
What do those
okay?
coverages mean, Isaiah?
All right, in cover 3, there's 5 guys. There's 4 guys underneath. Okay, in cover 2, there's 5 guys underneath, including the corners, 3 linebackers, 2 corners sitting at the edges.
Not like I
and
understand.
And in cover 4, there's 3 guys covering underneath, and you have 4 secondary guys that are playing each quarter of the field in the back end, ensuring that nothing bad happens. And then cover 6 is a combination of cover 4 and cover 2, in which you have guys that are rolled down playing cover 2 on one side of the field, and the other guys are playing deep. So, with all that being said, it doesn't matter typically it does matter based upon what coverage that they're playing out of those. But all these coverages are kind of playing and feeling the same, right? Their defensive coordinators calling different coverage packages, but they're playing alike because of the amount of space that you're being given to run your routes. The purpose of calling these different coverages is to give the quarterback different looks and to present different options and negate different available holes in the defense. When you're playing 8 to 9 yards off at the cornerback position, when you're playing 25 yards off at the safety position, it doesn't matter because it all just looks the same.
Yeah.
So
They're so far back anyway.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. It's routes on air, right? The way in which for those fans that have been blessed enough to go to the stadium and watch the Cowboys warm up, and run routes with the quarterbacks throwing the ball to the receivers and the tight ends, and those guys are just no defenders. That's exactly what it looks like. And that and literally there is nobody at the line of scrimmage pressing up at all.
Yeah.
So just to add to that, and it's not just the safeties, it's everybody across the board. Linebackers have aligned 4.7 yards off the line of scrimmage on average this season in the Panthers defense. It's the second deepest of any team amongst their linebacking unit. Because of this, kind of a side product of it, the defense has allowed 1.9 yards before contact per carry.
Yeah.
That's almost 2 yards per carry.
It's a gift.
Before anybody
touches.
That's called contact
Merc
right there.
Crimmers.
That's all it could be. That is giving up yardage in terms of running. Opposing rushers also averaged 3.5 yards for actual or for every actual rushing yard gain designed runs against the Panthers defense, fewest in the NFL.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty wild.
So obviously, I just addressed the passing game. In the running game, there are plenty of holes and opportunities on the ground,
and a lot of it is because of that.
A lot of it is because of how far off everybody's playing, right? And the thing is, you compound the fact that their secondary plays far off, right? You always hear the analogy: if you have a bad defense, you typically have corners that have a lot of tackles. Not this team, because the corners are too far away to come up and make an impact. So if your corners are playing too far away and your defense is not in a position to make tackles, now all of a sudden you start getting those stat lines where you have 2 yards before you get any kind of contact because you're getting across the line of scrimmage, down the field, up to the second level before anybody can touch you. Not only that, they don't do a good job of containment. So whether it's a running back or whether it's a quarterback, you're able to break containment on these guys and get outside the tackle box. And therefore, if your receivers are running off their guys and not blocking at the line of scrimmage, but they're faking as if they're running a route and they're taking their guys 15, 20 yards deep, now all of a sudden, once you break containment of that tackle box, you have big plays that are out there, big splash plays on the ground. So somebody named Rico should have a relatively good day in this. I say that to say don't go into bunch formations. Bunch and condensed sets, they actually do a relatively good job of getting and restricting and constricting all the running lanes. So spread these guys out, right? Every times I've seen it on film where you bring everybody in, condensed sets, and they stop the run. They stop the run. There's just too many people in one area.
Congested.
They get congested. These guys are playing downhill. But when you spread them out, right, they go right back to their rules. Oh, I got to play. I got to play. I got to back up. I got to play off. I got to see everything in front of me, right? I need to see it coming, and they're not reacting to it. So coverage is not great because of the techniques that they're being taught. Their running defense is not great. Their outside linebackers walk up to the edge of the line of scrimmage to present what looks like a 5-man front, which is under front. So the defensive line slides away from the strength of your tight end. The outside linebacker will walk down on the edge and try to present a outside contained run force. Their hips are locked up like Akon, so they don't do well in terms of that outside containment. Once you get outside that tackle box, you can run for days. So you have an opportunity to pretty much do whatever the heck you want in the passing game. So Dallas's short passing game works against a team like this. You know, when Dallas has not been pushing the ball down the field, Cooper Rush's passes have been anywhere from 4 yards to 15 yards downfield.
Yeah, they won't need to.
It works against that. What you're seeing out of Dallas's offense will be successful against Carolina's defense because of their techniques that they're playing.
More stats to back up the film that you're breaking down here. Would you want the good news or the bad news first?
Give me both, man.
I'll give you the good news first because it sets it up better. Cowboys offense, you said what do they need to do against this Carolina defense in terms
spread them out?
Okay, spread formation, right? Spread it out. Cowboys offense has used spread formations on a league high 40% of offensive plays this season.
That's good news.
I like league high. Good news, right? That
Yeah.
sounds good. You want to hear the bad news of it, though?
Oh, no.
Cooper Rush, as quarterback, has recorded the 6th lowest completion percentage in terms of 6 yards per attempt out of spread formations this year.
Not this week.
But you know what? This is a get-right game.
Yeah,
You think this is the opportunity to up, maybe not both numbers, but up the second number a little bit, right?
Well, let me tell you this, man. The defense is not good. That's it. No.
Breaking news.
Let me tell you why they're not good. They are 31st in opponent yards per game.
Yep.
27th in opponent's yards per play.
That's better.
32nd in third down conversion, 26th in opposing red zone scoring, 32nd in opponent touchdowns per game, and 32nd in opponent rush yards per game. That is not good.
I feel like I know what Patrick's about to say here.
I'm letting y'all get it all out of your system.
What are you about to say?
You're correct. You're correct. Fantastic breakdown. You're correct. The other thing that's true, on top of you guys being correct, is that I don't care. Let me explain what I mean by that. Let me explain what I mean by that. We spent the
Seemed pretty clear to me, buddy.
We spent the entirety of last week. We spent the entirety of last week talking about how historically horrible.
I knew this is what he was going to say.
The Cincinnati Bengals defense is historically terrible.
And
literally one of the worst in the last half decade and one of the worst in NFL history. And you could only mount 20 points against them. Now, segueing from what I said yesterday, we were talking about it during the break. I wasn't trying to present the Panthers defense as good or solid or capable.
Sure.
Just statistically, they're better than the literal worst defense in the league in the Cincinnati Bengals.
In a couple of areas. A couple of areas.
But you could only muster 20 points against them.
Correct.
On your own field.
I would argue this Panthers defense is worse. I would.
Yes.
I'm also slouching as I say this down in the bottom corner of my screen.
Outside of what Trey Hendrickson does, coming forward to the Panthers, you're right. They do play shooketh.
Yeah.
So they give a lot of space.
Yes.
They're going to give you a bunch of criminal presence. Merry criminal. All right? Almost a first down worth of yardage before they come up and try to put hands on you.
That number
It's
is
insane.
mind-boggling.
But we talked a lot about the offensive line. They're going to have to protect because this Panthers defense, last week notwithstanding against the Eagles, they can get after the quarterback.
Jadeveon
Clowney, they can get after the quarterback. They had 3 sacks apiece against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. They had a combined 12 quarterback pressures in those games. So when you're talking about Cooper Rush and the offensive line, one thing the Panthers can do, probably the only thing that they can do effectively, is cause some disruptions in that backfield. My concern when it comes to Cooper Rush is, yes, the Cowboys have run spread quite a bit. Yes, Mike McCarthy is calling the plays that can, those quick pass rush beaters where it's like screen here, quick flat here. But are the throws there, right? Are the reads there? Is Cooper Rush comfortable even when the pocket is sufficient? I'm not seeing enough of that. So, yes, this is another game, a second consecutive game, wherein the Cowboys offense has both the firepower, even though they're deficient in a lot of ways, right? Yeah. They have the firepower with Rico Dowdle. Brandon Cooks has 2 touchdowns in 2 games, right? CeeDee Lamb got rid of the dropsies over the week prior. They have a sufficient offensive line, knock on wood. Jake Ferguson's back. Luke Schoonmaker is still affecting the game as a play catcher. I was impressed by the way he played,
right? Yeah.
Cowboys have enough firepower to overcome another bad defense. But I just saw them not overcome one of the worst defenses. So that's what I mean when I say I don't.
But they're also not going up against the best quarterback in the NFL. That's kind of where I'm at. But I don't think Bryce Young is going to be able to pick apart this Cowboys defense while simultaneously stopping.
We're talking about the Panthers defense.
I know. But I'm saying I don't think there's going to be enough there for them to consistently attack what the Cowboys are doing on offense.
You're saying Dallas doesn't need to score 20 points against this defense?
I think they're going to anyway.
Yeah.
I think this has the potential to be a shootout. However, you do have potentially Trayvon Diggs and you have Deron Bland, who are going to eliminate, I think, what Bryce Young is able to do while running outside of the
I'm going to mix in my concern here. I'm going to mix 2 things.
Can we do it after the break?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Let's do it after the break. Okay. We're going to mix around that concern. Big old pot of concern gumbo about to be plowed up here inside Talkin Cowboys in the podcast studio. More Talkin Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment of the show brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Patrik Walker, Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez,
Hi.
Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans.
Can the North Texas, was it Mean Green Eagles? Is it Eagles?
Just Mean Green, yes.
There's no eagle? Is it a bird?
There's an eagle in the logo, but they don't want you to call them the Eagles.
What?
Because Eagles are dumb. Wow. Philadelphia Eagles is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I
I
don't
mean,
think Philadelphia has
bald eagles too. I mean, like
bald eagles are amazing.
Right.
They're pretty bald
sick.
eagles
Yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But those
Mean
cornrow
Green
Eagles
beat UNC next year?
What?
Can the Mean Green Eagles
beat Bill Belichick?
Can they beat UNC? That's all I want to know.
Probably not, no. Bill Belichick's about to get any transfer portal quarterback, wide receiver, player possible that NIL money would buy, and they've got NIL money in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, they don't have more money than Texas.
They don't, but
UNC,
it's actually not
the money that
close.
comes into
They
UNT,
pull some of that from the
UNT?
basketball program.
it's the state of Texas, Kyle.
I saw the numbers of the revenue share amongst the American Athletic Conference. Out of the 13 teams in the American Athletic Conference, they're number 11 in terms
Well, why
of
aren't you
revenue.
helping?
I'm trying.
come on, booster.
Kyle's like,
I
bring it to
hosted
me.
an event that raised like $700,000 for student athletes.
So
the other
just
day.
do
It
that
was
like
great.
20 times a year.
I know, exactly.
And
It
then
should
he went
be
to
fun.
Disneyland.
And then I went to
Then he went to Disneyland.
and all that money went away.
Beamer, we're just talking about allocation of funds.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So no, UNC is going to be that Belichick move. That's playing chess, not checkers, because in NIL, the era of college, we're getting on a tangent. You got
I
to
know.
go on. NIL era of college football is basically free agency every year for NIL money, which UNC has, and coaching and bringing in players and being able to circle through them. Bill Belichick has already had 24 seasons in the NFL as a pro head coach, and more than that actually, but that's a pro head coach. It's basically being a pro head coach, but in college.
Oh, college! No, I've been listening, and I know we don't need to get on the subject, but I've been listening to these very well-off individuals in the business world talking about how they are buying colleges.
Yeah.
Next up on Mix Shots.
Not wild. Investing, not donating.
Next up on Mix Shots.
Bro.
What's Mizzou got going on?
Yeah.
It's about to get crazy.
It's already crazy. There's going to be a side tangent. I'm not going to go through it. Let's continue on.
You're passionate about college, man.
I'm very passionate about college sports. I love college sports. That's why I love the draft. That's why I love the draft,
That's why
because
you're
it
the man.
marries both of them.
You're the
between.
freaking man when it comes
Thanks,
to the
man.
draft show,
I appreciate it.
Freaking A.
All right, Patrick, you said you had some concern.
Yeah, my caution of concern, Captain Underpants, is
Dang. Patrick, you're such a jerk sometimes.
the Cowboys
Top
offense.
tier hater,
The
Patrik
Cowboys
Walker.
offense has not shown me that they can really blow the lid off of poor defenses that they line up against, right? So there's some I did go for Kendrick.
Why?
Live look at Kyle in the press box. Captain Underpants.
Except they're green.
Oh my gosh, Beamer.
Someone do a Photoshop of Kyle with green.
Beamer, look at that. Kyle before press conference. Oh, Dallas Cowboys OT.
You gotta put a little goatee on it.
I'm crying.
Oh my gosh.
I'm crying. All right.
Oh jeez.
Concern. So I talked about my main concern is
Oh,
that
they have a doll.
the Cowboys offense
I'm so getting
unable to take full advantage of bad defenses. But I mean, so when you even flip it on the opposite side, Cal said something on yesterday that really sticks out that kind of ties into what you're saying. You have to wonder where this defensive mindset is going into this game on a short week after such an emotionally fracturing loss. Because you talk about Micah Parsons being overcome with emotions. You talk about the locker room being so dejected, the most dejected I've seen them at any point in this season.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So the question is, from a Cowboys defensive standpoint versus a Bryce Young, who's getting more confident, and Chuba Hubbard in this offense, and Leggett and Thielen, and they're getting more confident, and Canales as a head coach is getting more confident. I just feel like emotionally they're in two different places right now. So I don't know what version of the Cowboys defense comes out. I don't know if it's a version that says, you know what, we're going to show you that we're not broken from what happened on Monday night, or if it's the version that lets Jamar Chase get the 40-yard go-ahead touchdown because they're still kind of in shock and they haven't really recovered from it yet. Yeah. So that's to that side of the ball. But again, flipping back to Panthers defense, yeah, they're going to give you a bunch of gifts. Question is, can you take advantage of them? When CeeDee Lamb hits you with the deep crosser and he's waving his hand, do you see him?
Yeah.
Can
you get it to him?
And can you get it to him?
That's
right?
another thing. Can you get it to him?
Right. And can you finally get
it went away.
That's the costume.
There's a whole outfit, bro.
There you go.
Got to do it.
There's a whole outfit. I mean, don't show the
Captain
the website. There's a whole outfit. It's only $44.
So that's my point.
Can you play defense against somebody who eats raccoons?
What?
Leggett.
Oh.
He said he eats raccoons and eats squirrels.
Oh, well, that's just...
He also can't catch game-winning touchdowns.
South
I'm not worried
Carolina
about
for
him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Okay, J.C.
You
Horn.
see what I'm saying? And I realize I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I get what you're
because
saying.
Everything we're saying, all four of us are saying, is completely correct. All of the positives that you guys are saying as far as why the Cowboys should be able to walk into Bank of America Stadium and have their way, so to speak, against the Panthers defense, 100% correct. The reasons I'm saying that they may not are also on film because we're seeing games in which they are not taking advantage of.
Yeah.
The question is, which one shows up?
You have to give credit, though.
Who shows up?
Because even as bad as they look on film, they still took a two-time Super Bowl championship team, right?
Kansas City.
The NFC favorites in terms of going to Super Bowl this year, right? And a playoff team in Tampa Bay took them all to the doggone wire.
Facts.
And so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as bad as we're talking about them, you got to give them respect because there's some aspect of their team that's competitive.
That's Bryce Young.
I agree. I think
the biggest thing is belief. They believe now. And that's 100%. What's making them a little bit more
on
dangerous.
Offense, in my opinion.
Yeah,
if their offense has confidence now, but so does the Cowboys defense. The ineptability of I know Demo being out adds into it. But
going into last week,
I still think Micah Parsons being available, I think he's still going to be fine.
Who are you most concerned about?
What your secondary? I think your
secondary's been playing really well.
Yeah, Trayvon's back, and you got Duron, and those two and Jordan. I think they can.
If you saw what Duron,
they will affect the game.
And if you saw what Duron Bland did last year in Carolina, I think you will see that again. I think Duron Bland is going to have his best game of the year. Because of the confidence of Bryce Young, thinking he can put it anywhere. The only problem is you have Jordan Lewis, Trayvon Diggs, and Duron Bland on the other side of the ball.
Are you going into with the mindset of we're going to win this for our fallen brother and DeMarvion Overshown, or are you going in with the mindset of we don't have Demo on the field? I don't know which one of those two versions show up.
Josh, what are you most concerned about in this game?
J.C. Horn, I think, is a really solid.
He's a solid corner, man.
I think he's a solid cornerback. I think it's unfortunate
that
what
they're
having
that technique. Yep,
exactly what they're having him do because he is the antithesis of Trayvon Diggs.
Yes.
He is. He will not let you have yards after catch. Mm-hmm. He will tackle you immediately. He's not afraid to get into the run game. He is literally the antithesis of that. However, you have Mike Jackson on the other side, who is not having his best year. His best years were in Seattle, and we know him as well.
But he's also to your point, right?
Cowboys legend.
Oh, there's a lot of symmetry here, and I know we gotta get out of here. There's a lot of symmetry between these two defenses. The Dallas Cowboys have three really good corners that aren't being allowed to do what they do best. The Carolina Panthers have one really good corner, and I think a very competitive corner, right? That aren't being allowed to do what they do best.
Because Jackson is a dog. Like he's
Jackson is a mauler. He wants to get up there, put his hands on. He's a physical guy.
But he's not having a great year.
He's not having a great year, right? Because
defense.
You're playing 7 to 9 yards off.
Yeah.
Right? So the things that you do best, you want Jackson, you want Horn, you want those guys at the line of scrimmage. putting hands on guys. You want J. Lou, you want Trayvon Diggs, you want Deron Bland to be able to get up there and put hands on you. Now, obviously, Deron Bland got the work done to him at the end of the game, but other than that, get up there and put hands on him, right? And so, like, both of these secondaries are capable of doing so much more, but they're being subjected to whatever the coach calls.
Yeah. No, and like you said, there is symmetry between both teams because I agree with Patrick in the same sense that you got to see what Cowboys team is going to show up, period. Plain and simple. But we're not going to know that until the first
And
quarter.
that's not up to us to decide. It's
Absolutely.
what the film has in front of us.
We're looking at the film, and we're dissecting
So that's all
off
I'm
of
saying.
the film.
Just don't go in thinking the Cowboys are going to hang 50 on those.
I don't
No,
think that's the
of
case.
course not. No.
The over-under is 43. I looked that up just a moment ago. It's 43. I would go with the under because I think an inept offense from the Cowboys versus a confident defense from the Cowboys against an inept defense from Carolina
It's a wash.
and a confident
It's
offense.
almost a
And I think
wash.
it ends up washing out, and it would be a low-scoring
21-20.
If even
9-7.
If even that, yeah.
9-7.
Yeah, it'll be. It may be one of those games, and that would be ugly.
5-4.
Yeah.
I don't even do that.
Three safeties and a field goal. I love it. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Talking Cowboys. Tomorrow, say it with your chest. Friday.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm
we
doing
are gonna
push-ups.
make it happen.
I'm doing push-ups tonight.
baby. It's chest day for
go.
Isaiah. He's going to drop another 7 pounds by the time he walks back into the
Right,
studio. For Chris P, Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Sling P over here, and Patrik Walker. I'm Captain Underpants saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,